Now News Extra, it is brought to you today by Gehring Civic Center. And here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. A lot of things going on with the Scottsbluff Parks and Recreation Department over the next 12 months, 2014. Thought we'd bring Perry Mater in here, director of the Scottsbluff Parks Department, and let him talk about all the wonderful things that are going on. And Perry, first of all, welcome. Good to have you on. Let's talk about the Avenue I situation. I know there's a road project going on there, but there's a trail, the big trail that you want to build clear across town begins with that particular project, right?
That's right, yeah. And there's a link there. I think a while back the city had talked about the Avenue I project and how they could make things a lot more ADA friendly, and that was kind of the beginning of this pathway project. So we looked at ways to incorporate the projects and link it to our current pathway system, and so that's kind of where we're at. Is we're going to connect to the current trail, and it'll incorporate 20th and Avenue I, and it'll go all the way to Highway 26 where there will be a pedestrian bridge, and we'll link up to the hospital, WNCC. All told, probably about a little over 5 miles worth of new pathway.
That's going to be great. And like I said, it all starts with this project, so it'll take some time to get it all done, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a federal project, so there's a lot of things that you have to do. Currently we're in kind of some environmental phases, right-of-way phase. So people hear this and they expect that there's going to be, this bridge is going to magically appear and there's going to be sidewalks or pathways all over. It does. It takes time. We're talking a couple of years out yet, but things are happening, whether you see them or not. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of things that are still happening. I mean, it's, like I said, 5 miles and about $3.5 million worth. So there's got to be a lot of planning, in the process.
All right. So when they do the Avenue I project this year, part of the trails will be the sidewalks and all the things that'll go through there, right?
You probably won't see a whole lot as they're doing the Avenue I project for the street. They might do some curb and gutter work, but you probably won't see a whole lot on the pathway yet for maybe another year and a half.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of the other things going on. You got playground equipment going in at 3 parks, right?
Yes. We have a budget of about $60,000, and we're going to split that up between 3 parks. Neighbor Park in the south, Northwood over by Walmart, and then Pioneer Park is going to get a piece. So we're going to divide that up. It's been a long time since we've purchased any kind of traditional playground equipment. We've bought playground boulders, climbing, type features, but it's been way overdue. And if you've seen some of the equipment that's in those parks in particular, you know why we're replacing it, because it's outdated. There might be some safety issues, so it's long overdue.
All right. And then a $60,000 splash pad over at Veterans Park.
Right, yeah. And when we say splash pad, it's not, if you're familiar with what they have at the zoo, it's not quite that. We're going to have probably no above ground features, but it'll be like a large fountain with timers, and it'll go off at different times and at different heights and things. So it'll be a really neat feature. If there is a little bit more that we can work into that budget, we might consider some above ground features. But for now, that's kind of what the plan is.
Okay. All right, we'll be back and talk more after this.
With 20 years of
Get a
legendary meeting
floating
success,
fishing
high-speed
piers and
wireless
docks.
internet
That's
for
next thing
200
we should talk
computers, Polycom video system on 5
And the
Delta
renovation of
screens,
Westmore
and
and-
the overachievers, the meat shop, cooking, you need to call.
I don't know whether we'll get to the cemetery or not, but that'll be good.
How many people get too jazzed?
No, it's about the cemetery thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, you might have a run of sales for that.
Yeah. All right, we are back on News Extra. Perry Mater is here to discuss a number of things going on with the Parks Department in 2014. And one of the things you're going to do quite a few things actually with the fishing ponds that are just to the east of Riverside Discovery Center and the zoo.
Right, just off the belt line there, just south of the belt line in that zoo area. We're going to put in some floating fishing docks and piers and a bridge that kind of spans one of the areas over there. Part of the reason we're doing this is because they're old sand pit ponds. They're very deep in places, and they're very popular. You see a lot of people down there fishing, and when I see people out there, it's great to see people, but on the other side of that, you get a little concerned with some of the places they have to fish. So we want to provide a nice, safe place for them to stand and enjoy fishing out there. We also have a landscape project in conjunction with the NRD here locally, and the statewide Arboretum has helped us with the plan. So we're going to put out the infrastructure, the drip lines and the watering system for that, start planting trees, hopefully in the spring. If not, fall's a good time to plant as well. So that's something else to kind of keep an eye on. We're going to have just kind of a small loop trail out there, real primitive, no concrete or anything. That's going to incorporate this new floating bridge out there. So a lot of things happening out there at that point.
That'd be great to have that little primitive trail. You can go out there, do a little walking and stuff, and go over the bridge too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean there's already the dedicated trail system that's out there with the concrete 10-foot trail, and then a lot of people walk that berm that kind of dissects the park out there.
Right.
You see a lot of people walking their park, so we want to incorporate that into that and the bridge and this new landscaping into just kind of a nice little, I don't know, maybe quarter-mile type loop that people can walk through the park.
All right. Real quick, the pool renovation over at Westmore, about $140,000. Discuss that.
Right. We're about halfway through that. Basically, all it is just renovating the tub itself at Westmore. It's a material called Diamond Bright. So this fall, they broke up, some of the troubled areas. They're going to come back in, put a new layer in. We're still scheduled to open at our normal time, June 1st. But if there's some weather factors involved, they have to put it in at the right temperature. They have other work to do in the region, but we're just going to have to keep our fingers crossed. But we will keep the public informed every step of the way as to what's going on. If there are any delays, we'll let you know. But it's a big project. It had to get done. Obviously, you look at the budget for something like that, and it's pretty substantial. But we're happy with the progress they've made so far. We just have to keep our fingers crossed, like I said, and hope they can get it done in time for us to open.
All right. Okay. Very good. Very busy next year.
Yeah, good stuff happening.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Thanks, bud.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks for
you
having me
coming
on.
in.
You bet.